The Xabi Alonso era at Real Madrid has gotten off to a very shaky start. We drew our first game against Al-Hilal, and we played like shit, especially in the opening 45 minutes. That was an unacceptable first half performance. But we'll talk about that a little bit later because we already have to look ahead. The Club World Cup is officially here, and we're halfway through the group stage. And Real Madrid have a big game on Sunday where they will be taking on Pachuca. And this is a must-win game. I gave Xabi Alonso a lot of excuses for why we looked so poor against Al-Hilal. They're actually a good team, and they have a very good manager as well. Look at some of the players that was against us. Milinkovic-Savic, Ruben Neves, right? You got Bonu in goal, João Cancelo, Renan Lodi, Koulibaly. Al-Hilal are the biggest team in Asia. They are the most successful team in that continent. And let's not forget, Inzaghi is their manager. So I understand that with only a few days of training, Xabi Alonso wasn't going to be able to just turn things around right away. But against Pachuca, who don't have one player that I rate, if we even struggle against them, I'm going to be pissed. We need the 3 points. If we do not win this game, there's a possibility of us getting grouped in the Club World Cup. Imagine not making the knockout rounds of this tournament. It's a major trophy on the line. It's the new edition of the Club World Cup where it's only going to be played every 4 years. Do not embarrass us, Real Madrid. And what's so funny is this is technically the second time that we would have played Pachuca this season. We beat them in the Intercontinental Cup final, formerly known as the Club World Cup. But now that it got moved to this summer and it's a whole brand new format, the Intercontinental Cup will take its place every winter during the middle of the season. And it's funny that we've beaten Pachuca in a final when everybody tells us that Real Madrid went trophyless this season. Do you guys know how you qualify for the trophy that we beat Pachuca in? You have to win the Champions League. For Pachuca to get there, they had to win the Champions League in their region of the world. So, funny how people tell us that we went trophyless, but there's proof right here that we won a major trophy. Whether you rate it or not, doesn't matter. Facts don't care about your feelings. So, last time we played them, we handled them 3-0. I actually think it was one of our better performances of this past season because we struggled a lot. But in this game, Mbappe scored. Rodrigo had an amazing individual goal as well. And I think Vinicius got a pen. Vinny actually set up Mbappe for the first goal in this game. He put that shit on a plate for him. But yeah, we cooked, right? Our attack looked on it. Jude had a good performance as well. And it was a comfy win. Thibaut Courtois did have to make a big save, right? Pachuca, they did come out swinging, but they just didn't have the talent to go toe-to-toe with us. So it's a rematch, and we are already familiar with this squad because it's basically the same players going against us on Sunday in our group stage match. But look, you guys already know what we do on these match previews. We're going to talk about both teams. Then at the end, I will be building the starting 11 that I think Xabi Alonso will play in this match. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking about this game. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Now, let's start off with Real Madrid. We are in Group H. And after drawing to Al-Hilal 1-1, we are currently sitting second in the table. Now, when you look at the 4 teams that are here, Real Madrid and Al-Hilal are expected to go through. We're expected to finish first. Al-Hilal should be coming second. But RB Salzburg is the only team that's won a game so far, and they beat Pachuca. So they're on top. Now, You only play 3 matches in the group stage for the Club World Cup. So it doesn't really give you that much room for error. And we've already stumbled by drawing against Al-Hilal. So, like I said, we must win this game. There's no excuses. Pachuca should not be giving us a hard time. We should look comfortable in this game. Xabi Alonso should be able to try out new tactics, and we still comfortably get the 3 points. We absolutely have to do that. Now, what's so funny is in the game against Al-Hilal, right? Because this is our last match, I thought we were going to look so much better. The hype that we had coming into this game, it was definitely underwhelming. Al-Hilal were the better team in the first half. To be honest, if Marcus Leonardo was better at finishing his chances, they could have been up 2-0. Imagine if they would have had Mitrovic. We would have struggled. Defensively, we looked all over the place. They were getting through our back line very easily, especially because we kept losing the ball in midfield. I don't think we played that well. And I don't think anybody that's watching would say that we looked good either. In the second half, things did look better when we switched to the back 3. And we did control more of the ball. We did create a lot of the better chances in the second half. But that first half performance really has gotten me shaken up here. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't even care about these ratings. Milinkovic-Savic and Ruben Neves were cooking us. Dean Huijsen, or Huijsen, however the hell you want to say it, I think he had a pretty good debut. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he was solid in this game. A lot of people are trying to cook him, but I don't think Trent played bad. To be honest, if it wasn't for Trent, we might have not scored a goal. He's the one that intercepted the ball that led to the counterattack that Gonzalo Garcia finished. Speaking of Gonzalo Garcia, I think he did a pretty decent job in his first start for Real Madrid in place of Mbappe. I think Rodrigo was solid. Vinicius, this game was hella mid. Jude was mid. Valverde was mid as well. It just was not a good performance. So we definitely have to bounce back because I get it. Xabi Alonso has not had a lot of time to train with this team. But at the same time, Inzaghi hasn't had that much time either. He's a brand new manager for Al-Hilal as well. Both of us are big clubs that came into this game off the back of a pretty underwhelming season. And we both had new managers. So it's not really an excuse. But I'm going to be patient because I do think Xabi Alonso is the manager that will do great things at Real Madrid. But if we do not get the 3 points against Pachuca on Sunday, questions will be asked. I'm telling you this right now. So let me know what you guys are saying about Real Madrid, right? And how do you think we will play against Pachuca? Now, looking at them, they are last in the table, and hopefully that's where they remain after this game on Sunday. But yeah, they lost to Salzburg 2-1, and Pachuca is not a good team. This is why I'm thinking we have to go out there and slap them, right? Like, look at the score. Salzburg, they're not even that good. I swear we played Salzburg in the UCL this past season. Maybe I'm remembering it incorrectly, but I feel like we did, right? It's been so many games that they all just kind of lumped together. But they got the 2-1 victory, right? And when I'm looking at this Pachuca 11, it's a lot of the same players that we saw back in December during that Intercontinental Cup final. And the thing is with Pachuca, unlike Al-Hilal, right? Al-Hilal, they're the best team in the Asian continent, right? They dominate over there. Pachuca aren't that good this season in Mexico, especially. Like, if I go to the table, yeah, they finished 7th. Whoa. Am I stupid? No, that's for this season. Hold on. Look, last season, they finished 16th in the Mexican League. If the Mexican League had relegation, they would be getting sent down. We have to slap them. We have to put belt to ass. 16th, you know. I don't know how they went from winning their version of the Champions League to then finishing 16th in the table. Like that is diabolical. So, like I said, there's really no excuses to not be going out there and getting all 3 points and not looking comfortable against Pachuca, right? I mean, I don't even really have too much to say about them because there's not much to talk about. They're not a good side. They lost their first game. They should not be giving us any problems. So let me know what you guys are saying about Pachuca if you did watch this game against Salzburg, because I did not. Why would I sit down and watch this mid? I'm going to be real. So there's nothing that I think we should even be scouting. But let's get into some Real Madrid updates on players that may miss this game and who might be coming back from injury. Now, the first person that we got to talk about is Mbappe, because he did miss the match against Al-Hilal due to, they said he was sick, right? And he didn't recover in time. And then we got an update that he was in the hospital for some issue that he was having, and he's been discharged, but they're already saying that Mbappe is 100% not going to be available for the Pachuca match, which does suck because I would like him to be available so he can get minutes with Xabi Alonso in this system that he's trying to implement. But at the same time, his health 100% comes before everyone else's. And I think they were saying that he had the flu, but his stomach is now also bothering him. So Real Madrid released an update saying that Mbappe was discharged from the hospital this afternoon and has returned to Real Madrid training complex. Mbappe will continue with specific medical treatments and will gradually return to team activity. So I think Mbappe definitely will play in this tournament, but we're more than likely not going to see him until either the Salzburg game or the knockouts. And we're definitely going to need him in the knockouts because we're going to be going against some big elite teams in Europe who, I mean, look, we need Mbappe back, okay? Now, let's go to something more positive because I think Gonzalo Garcia did do a good job, and I wouldn't mind him starting again, to be honest. Like, I like that Xabi Alonso is giving the youth players an opportunity to prove themselves. But we do have a boost, especially to our defense. Rudiger, they're saying that he's going to be available for the matchup against Pachuca. Defensively, against Al-Hilal, we did not look that good. So, yeah, Rudiger being back is going to help us a lot defensively. But he is returning early from his injury, which I do kind of have an issue with because I would have preferred for him to get fully rested before coming back and then possibly risking another injury. But let's see what Xabi Alonso does and how he manages Rudiger's minutes in this game if he really is back. Now, looking at some of the other injuries that are going on, Endrick, David Alaba, Mendy, Camavinga, Militao, Carvajal, right? They're all going to be out for this game. I would be very shocked if any of them play. So, just wanted to show you guys that as well. But again, Mbappe is out. Rudiger is coming back. Now, let's get into my favorite part of every single match preview, and that's predicting the starting 11 that I think Xabi Alonso is going to use. Now, against Al-Hilal in the first half, we did start in a back four, and it did not look good. But in the second half, when we switched to the back three, it looked a lot better. So I'm hoping that that's what he starts out with today. I'd like to see what he did at Leverkusen from the beginning, right, in terms of the formation. So I'm going to predict that Xabi Alonso does the 3-4-2-1. Now, let's start plugging in these players. Now, I think it's going to be Thibaut Courtois once again in goal. I wouldn't mind if Lunin was to start this game, but I'm going to just predict that he goes pretty strong because we didn't win the first game. And it's like we have to get 3 points. Even though Lunin is more than capable, I'm going to just predict Courtois is between the sticks. Now, at right-sided center back, I'm going to go Asensio. In the middle, I actually think that Tchouaméni starts in this back line. Then Huijsen at left-sided center back. Now, I'm not going to predict Rudiger because he's just gotten back from injury. And we should not just be throwing him back out there. We don't want to risk Rudiger in a game against Pachuca. We're going to need him for this season. and he just had surgery maybe like 5 weeks ago. So let's not immediately put him back out there because he's coming back from injury early anyways, which is already a big risk, and I don't like it. But Tchouaméni, second half, did drop a lot deeper, was basically the third center back, and he looked really good. So I think this should be the back line. Now, at left wing back, going with Fran Garcia. I think Fran Garcia can do a good job at wing back, right? Look at how Xabi Alonso likes to use those players, right? When he was at Leverkusen, when Grimaldo was at left wing back, he absolutely cooked. And Fran Garcia defensively, very mid. But going forward is a good player, okay? The guy's able to link play. His overlapping is a threat. And he's also one of the best crossers of the ball that we have. And there's also no other first-team left back that's available. Mendy is injured, and I doubt that he's going to start one of the kids from the academy in this match. So Fran Garcia at left wing back. Now, in this double pivot, we're going to go Jude, and I'm also going to go Valverde. The midfield in the first game struggled. We couldn't hold possession, and I think there needs to be a change there. So I would like to see Bellingham play a little bit deeper in that 8 role. That's what Jude is. We bought him from Dortmund to be a box-to-box 8. That's what he played at Birmingham. That's what he played in Germany with Dortmund. It wasn't until last season, and Carlo did a great job by replacing Benzema by giving Jude a much higher role up the pitch. But the guy is not a striker. Jude is not a 10. His best position is a box-to-box 8. He can do those other roles very well. But if you want to get the best out of him, I think we got to play him a little bit deeper. And I think Valverde, you don't drop him out the team. I mean, even though he was mid, right? Both these guys were pretty mid against Al-Hilal. But they're very important to what we do. So, yeah, this is the pivot that I want to see. Then at right wing back, I think Trent has to start again. Didn't have the best debut, but he wasn't shit like how people are trying to make out. Trent was crucial in us scoring our first goal. And if you play him at right wing back, it now allows him to get forward and be involved more in the attack with his passing. And that's what we're looking for from him, right? He's one of the best creators / passers in world football. Now, the attack, right? So the 2 10s. I'm going Vinicius. Even though he was mid in that game against Al-Hilal, he's going to start again. I don't see him being dropped. Then in the right 10, I'm going Arda Güler. Arda Güler needs to start. You guys saw when he got subbed on, instant impact. We look so much better when Arda Güler's on the pitch. And for me, I think the way that Xabi Alonso helped develop Florian Wirtz into this world-class player, he's going to do the same exact thing with Arda Güler. This guy's potential is through the roof. This kid is phenomenal. And then up front, I don't know if they're going to have him here because he's from the academy, but I think Gonzalo Garcia actually deserves to start again. Yeah, he's not here. But let me see. Yeah, I think that Gonzalo Garcia deserves to start again for Real Madrid up front. I think he did a very decent job in that game against Al-Hilal. Took his goal well. I definitely think that he should have scored a second one because he did have a couple of chances with the headers that he didn't take too well, but he showed a lot of promise. And we know that Real Madrid are possibly going to be looking to sign a striker. And I think if this guy performs well during this Club World Cup, then maybe he can be the Joselu profile that we're looking for off the bench. But let me know what you guys are saying about my predicted 11. Get in the comment section. Definitely want to see what you guys are thinking. Smash that like button, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and get in the Discord. The link is pinned down below. We will be live with the watch along for this match. Holla Madrid!